All right, everybody, welcome back. If you watched our last video, you saw that we were mixing potting soil for a certain type of a container. And before we get started, for everybody that's new to the channel, my name is Ed, and my wife over here is Trina, and she is helping me fill planters here today. I wanted to introduce her because you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of her as we go on into spring. She does most of the planting and she does all the designing of our planters, so kind of the brains of the operation. But today I thought we would talk about the Bloom Master basket, and this is what I'm talking about when I say that. And it's really kind of specific to us here in this area. There's not really anybody doing it here. It's common around the country, but there's not very many greenhouses in our area that are doing it right now. It is a 6-gallon basket, and it has holes around the outside edge. And what we do is we'll plant 3 to 4 plants in the top, and then we'll plant 3 to 4 plants around the outside on that top row. It's not very often that we plant any more than that, because if you go to planting too many plants, then they get root bound quicker, and it's a little bit more of a problem for people to keep them watered. So you saw me mixing the moisture lock polymer in the soil there in our last video, and I only do that on any container that is 10 inches and up. I don't really put any of that moisture lock in anything smaller than that, because you can run into problems with it holding fertilizer, and it can complicate things if you're wanting to control fertilizer rates in smaller containers. But we use that in these Bloom Masters simply because all those holes. There's really not a need to put a plant in every hole, but you've got air. You know, the soil dries out pretty quick in these containers because of that. So we do that. We also add a little disc that has the polymer in it also into the bottom of the Bloom Master, and that kind of helps a little bit too. So I just kind of wanted to show you what we're doing. We do about 130 of these, and it doesn't seem like a whole lot of them, but they have to be spaced really far apart in the greenhouse. They have to be about 4 feet apart because they get so big. And I'll see if I can't find a picture of one kind of as a semi or finished product, and I will put that right here. Okay, so you kind of you get an idea of what that looks like once it's grown out, and we'll show you when we're planting these. We mix up a lot of different types of plants in them, but we try to keep plants of like nutrition. That way we don't have anything that have problems in the process of growing. So we'll start those in this greenhouse here because we like to run it really warm, and it gets them off to a really fast start and gets them growing good, and then we'll move them over to the bigger greenhouse that we run a lot cooler, and that keeps them from stretching out too much after they get going. So that's kind of the way we've been doing it the last few years. But I guess I had better get to work here, so I just kind of wanted to fill you in on this process and show you the basket that I talked about in the last video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch up with you on the next video.